Good evening, and welcome to Dreamy Academy. Tonight we embark on a journey not across distant stars, but into the profound depths that lie beneath our own sky, within the vast blue heart of our planet. As we begin, I'd love to know where you're watching from, your city, your country, perhaps even what the night sky looks like outside your window. If you enjoy these peaceful explorations of science, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe. It truly helps this little corner of quiet curiosity grow. To those already subscribed, thank you sincerely for being part of this slow and thoughtful adventure. We are all fellow travelers on this path of wonder. Tonight, we will learn to fall asleep learning oceanography. But this is not a dry recitation of facts. Instead, picture yourself drifting through a museum where the exhibits are not static but alive, breathing with the slow pulse of geological time and the intricate dance of chemistry. Each concept we explore is a window into a hidden truth, illuminated with gentle fascination, each explanation layered with beauty and precision. We will let our minds become pleasantly overwhelmed by the interwoven tapestry of understanding, lulled by the rhythm of discovery itself. Consider for a moment the sheer, unimaginable scale of the ocean. If you were to take all the land masses of Earth, every mountain, every desert, every continent, and somehow fit them into the deepest part of the ocean, the Mariana Trench, there would still be more than a mile of water above them. The average depth of the ocean is around 3.7 kilometers, or about 2.3 miles. But the true wonder lies in its volume, 1.35 billion cubic kilometers of water. To hold that number in your mind is to feel the imagination stretch and yield. It is enough water to fill a cube 1,100 kilometers on each side. We live on a planet where 71% of the surface is covered by this vast, ancient, and still largely mysterious realm. What makes this watery world so profoundly beautiful, so worthy of our quiet contemplation? It is the cradle of life, the engine of our climate, a living archive of Earth's deep history, and a realm where physics, chemistry, and biology converge in astonishing ways. The ocean is not merely a collection of water, it is a system of immense complexity and delicate balance, a testament to the patient forces that have shaped our world for billions of years. To understand it is to understand ourselves, for we are, in a very real sense, creatures of the ocean, our bodies carrying echoes of its ancient chemistry. So let us begin our gentle descent into its depths, allowing wonder to guide us into a quiet understanding. Have you ever stood at the edge of the sea, feeling the cool spray on your face, listening to the rhythmic sigh of the waves? There's a particular kind of silence that settles over the soul in that moment, a sense of immense scale combined with an intimate connection to something primal. The ocean, in that instant, feels eternal, unchanging. Yet, it is anything but static. It is a living, breathing entity, constantly reshaping itself, constantly telling the story of our planet through its currents, its depths, and its very composition. Tonight, we begin by considering the most fundamental aspect of this vast realm, the water itself. What is water, really? When you try to hold its essence in your mind, it is more than just H2O. It is the universal solvent, the sculptor of continents, the medium of life, and the quiet clock of deep time. Let's begin by understanding this extraordinary molecule, the unassuming hero of our blue planet. To truly appreciate the ocean, we must first understand the remarkable properties of its primary component, water. It seems so simple, 2 hydrogen atoms bonded to 1 oxygen atom. Yet this simple molecular architecture gives rise to an astonishing array of behaviors that are utterly unique among common substances and absolutely essential for life as we know it. Consider, for example, water's ability to dissolve. It is often called the universal solvent, and for good reason. Its molecular structure, with its slight positive charges on the hydrogen atoms and slight negative charge on the oxygen, creates what scientists call a polar molecule. Imagine a tiny magnet with a positive and a negative end. Water molecules act in a similar way, attracting other charged molecules or parts of molecules, pulling them apart and holding them in solution. This property is why the ocean is a rich salty broth, filled with dissolved minerals, gases and nutrients. Without this ceaseless dissolving, the chemistry of life could not unfold. It's how nutrients reach organisms, how waste is carried away, and how the very saltiness of the sea came to be. Then there is water's extraordinary heat capacity. This means it takes a great deal of energy to raise the temperature of water, and conversely it releases a great deal of energy when it cools. Think of a hot summer day near the ocean. The land heats up quickly, but the ocean remains relatively cool. At night the land cools rapidly, while the ocean slowly releases its stored warmth. This immense thermal inertia of the ocean acts as a giant thermostat for our planet. It absorbs vast amounts of solar energy, slowly redistributing it around the globe, moderating temperatures and preventing extreme fluctuations that would make life impossible. Without this property, our planet would experience wild swings in temperature, far too harsh for the delicate balance required by living systems. The ocean, in this sense, is Earth's great climate regulator, patiently breathing in and out the warmth of the sun. And perhaps most famously, water expands when it freezes. This seems counterintuitive. Most substances contract as they get colder and solidify. But as water molecules slow down and arrange themselves into the crystalline lattice of ice, they actually spread out, becoming less dense than liquid water. This is why ice floats. The beauty of this paradox is profound. If ice sank, lakes and oceans would freeze from the bottom up, crushing life beneath a solid sheet of ice. But because ice floats, it forms an insulating layer on the surface, protecting the liquid water and the life within it below. This simple, elegant property is a testament to the precise and beautiful rules that govern matter at its most fundamental level, allowing complex life to persist through winter's chill. These unique properties, its polarity, its heat capacity, its behavior upon freezing, are not accidental. They are woven into the very fabric of the water molecule, consequences of its quantum nature and its atomic arrangement. But how did such an extraordinary substance come to dominate our planet? Where did all this water come from? To answer this, we must step back, far back, into the deep time of Earth's formation. Picture, if you will, the early Earth, some 4.5 billion years ago. It was a violent, molten world, constantly bombarded by asteroids and comets, the leftover debris from the formation of our solar system. For a long time, scientists debated the origin of Earth's water. Was it locked deep within the planet's rocky interior, gradually outgassing through volcanic eruptions? Or did it arrive later, delivered by icy comets and water-rich asteroids from the outer reaches of the solar system? The answer, as is often the case in the complex story of our planet, seems to be a beautiful combination of both. As the early Earth began to cool, a thick, dense atmosphere formed, primarily from gases released by intense volcanic activity. This atmosphere contained significant amounts of water vapor, but the truly massive influx of water likely came from space. Imagine, over hundreds of millions of years, a ceaseless rain of icy visitors. Comets, often described as quote 2, are rich in water ice. Asteroids, particularly those from the outer asteroid belt, can also contain substantial amounts of water locked within their mineral structures. These cosmic messengers, crashing into the nascent Earth, delivered their precious cargo. As the Earth continued to cool, a critical threshold was crossed. The surface temperature finally dropped below the boiling point of water, and then the rains began. Not just a shower, but a deluge that lasted for millions of years. Imagine standing on that cooling Earth 4 billion years ago, watching the first rains fall on volcanic rock. The sky would have been thick with steam, lightning arcing across a turbulent, dark expanse. This was not a gentle drizzle, it was a planetary-scale downpour, an epic transformation. As the water poured down, it slowly began to accumulate in the lowest basins and depressions of the cooling crust. These were the birth pangs of the first oceans, vast reservoirs of liquid that would forever change the face of our world. The evidence for this cosmic delivery comes from subtle chemical clues. Scientists study the ratio of different isotopes of hydrogen, versions of the element with slightly different masses, in Earth's water and compare them to the ratios found in comets and asteroids. While some comets have ratios that don't quite match Earth's water, a specific class of carbonaceous chondrite asteroids, which are rich in water-bearing minerals, shows a remarkably similar isotopic signature. This suggests that a significant portion of our ocean's water, perhaps even most of it, was indeed delivered by these ancient cosmic wanderers. The water in your glass, the water in the ocean, carries within it the faint echo of a journey through the cold vacuum of space, billions of years ago. This journey of water from the interstellar dust clouds that formed our solar system, to the icy comets, to the molten Earth, and finally to the vast shimmering oceans, is a testament to the universe's capacity for creating the conditions necessary for complexity. The very existence of liquid water on our planet, sustained through geological ages, is a delicate cosmic balance. Our distance from the Sun, Earth's size and gravitational pull, the presence of a protective atmosphere, all conspire to keep water in its liquid state, a rare privilege in the cosmos. What does it mean that our world, unlike so many others, has held on to this precious liquid for billions of years? It means that life, as we know it, had a chance. Water, with its unique properties, is not just a medium for life. It is an active participant in life's chemistry. It dissolves, transports, and reacts. It moderates temperatures, enabling delicate biochemical processes to occur without being denatured by heat or frozen by cold. It provides a stable environment, shielding early life from the harsh radiation of the sun. The boundary between living and non-living blurs when you consider water, for it is so intrinsically woven into the definition of life itself. The first cells, the first organisms, were born in this ancient water. drawing their sustenance from its dissolved minerals protected by its depths. There's a particular comfort in understanding that the water filling our oceans today is, in essence, the same water that fell as rain billions of years ago, the same water that cradled the first stirrings of life. It cycles, it evaporates, it rains, it flows, but its fundamental nature, its ancient story, remains. Looking back across those millions of years, we see not chaos, but the patient, persistent work of physical laws, creating the conditions for our existence. So we've begun our journey by contemplating the extraordinary molecule of water itself, understanding its unique properties and its epic cosmic and planetary origins. We've seen how it arrived, how it accumulated, and how its very presence made life possible. But these vast bodies of water are not static pools. They are dynamic, restless realms, constantly in motion. What forces stir these immense liquid masses? How do they move, and what patterns do they create across the face of our world? That question of the ocean's ceaseless movement, of its great currents and its rhythmic tides, will carry us gently into our next exploration. And so, fellow travellers, we continue our gentle descent into the profound mysteries of the ocean, letting its ancient rhythms lull us deeper into tranquility. In our previous journey, we marvelled at the very essence of water, that miraculous substance, and its cosmic origins, understanding how it became the cradle of life, the Earth's great thermostat, and a living archive. We spoke of its cycle, its eternal return. But water, in its vastness, is never truly still. It is a ceaseless dancer, a tireless wanderer. Tonight, we turn our gaze, or rather, our inner sensing, to the ocean's dynamic heart, its magnificent sweeping currents, and its rhythmic, predictable tides. Imagine the entire liquid realm of our planet, from the sunlit surface to the abyssal plains, in constant flowing motion. It is a grand, unseen ballet, choreographed by forces both terrestrial and celestial, a global heartbeat that pulses through every drop. Let us begin with the great currents, these vast, continuous rivers within the sea. They are not merely random drifts, but organized, powerful streams, shaping climates, distributing life, and influencing the very breath of our world. Think of them as the ocean's circulatory system, carrying warmth and nutrients, oxygen and life across immense distances. What powers these colossal flows? We find their genesis in a delicate interplay of forces. Primarily, the surface currents are driven by the wind. Imagine the prevailing winds, those persistent breaths of our atmosphere, dragging at the ocean's surface, imparting their energy to the water below. But the story doesn't end there, for the earth itself is spinning, a magnificent rotating sphere. And this rotation introduces a profound effect, known as the Coriolis effect. Picture yourself standing at the North Pole, looking down. The Earth spins counterclockwise beneath you. Now imagine launching a projectile directly southward. As it travels, the Earth continues to spin eastward beneath it, causing the projectile to appear to curve to its right from your perspective on the ground. Similarly, in the southern hemisphere, the deflection is to the left. This invisible hand of the Earth's rotation gently yet powerfully steers the ocean currents, deflecting them, guiding them into vast swirling patterns. These immense rotating current systems are called gyres. There are 5 major gyres across our planet, each a colossal whirlpool spanning entire ocean basins. Think of the North Atlantic Gyre, for instance, a magnificent clockwise swirl encompassing the famed Gulf Stream. The Gulf Stream itself is a warm, swift current, originating in the Gulf of Mexico, traveling up the eastern coast of North America, and then sweeping across the Atlantic towards Europe. Can you feel its warmth, even now, carried across thousands of miles, moderating the climate of Western Europe, making it far milder than other regions at similar latitudes? It is an oceanic conveyor belt of heat, a testament to the ocean's role as Earth's great climate regulator. But the currents are not just surface phenomena. Beneath the sunlit layers, in the perpetual twilight and darkness of the deep, another, even slower, but equally powerful system of circulation exists. This is the thermohaline circulation, often called the global conveyor belt. The name itself whispers its secrets: thermo for temperature and haline for salinity. Imagine the frigid waters near the poles. As sea ice forms, it leaves behind its salt, increasing the salinity of the surrounding water. Colder, saltier water is denser and heavier than warmer, fresher water. So, this dense water sinks, slowly, majestically, into the abyssal depths. Once it sinks, it begins a long, slow journey across the ocean floor, creeping along the basins, only to gradually rise hundreds or even thousands of years later, often in distant parts of the world, bringing with it a rich bounty of nutrients from the deep. This thermohaline circulation is a testament to the ocean's profound interconnectedness. It links all the world's oceans, a silent, unseen river of density-driven flow, moving volumes of water so immense they defy easy comprehension. It takes centuries for a parcel of water to complete this global circuit, acting as a colossal, slow-motion pump, distributing oxygen to the deep sea and bringing vital nutrients up to the sunlit surface layers, where they fuel the explosion of life we call primary productivity. Without this deep circulation, much of the ocean's vastness would be stagnant and lifeless. It is a slow, deliberate breath of the planet, ensuring the health and vitality of the entire marine ecosystem. So, as you drift, imagine these 2 grand systems, the wind-driven surface currents, swift and vibrant, and the density-driven deep currents, slow and ancient, working in concert, a symphony of movement that sustains life. They are the silent architects of marine ecosystems, guiding the migrations of whales and fish, shaping the distribution of plankton, and ultimately influencing the very air we breathe and the weather we experience. Now, let us shift our attention from these majestic, continuous flows to a more rhythmic, almost breathing aspect of the ocean, its tides. The tides are the daily, predictable rise and fall of sea levels, a phenomenon so ancient, so fundamental, that it shapes not only coastlines but also the very lives of countless creatures. What immense power pulls and pushes these vast volumes of water? The answer lies in the cosmos, in the gravitational embrace of our nearest celestial neighbours. Primarily the moon, our constant companion, exerts a powerful gravitational pull on Earth. Imagine the moon's gravity tugging at the Earth, and especially at the oceans, which are fluid and yield to this pull. This gravitational force creates a bulge of water on the side of Earth closest to the moon. But here's where it gets truly fascinating. There's also a bulge on the opposite side of the Earth. Why? Because the moon's gravity pulls the entire Earth, a solid body, towards itself more strongly than it pulls the water on the far side. This leaves the water on the far side lagging behind, essentially bulging outward due to inertia or a centrifugal effect as the Earth-Moon system orbits a common centre of mass. So, we have two high tides roughly simultaneously on opposite sides of the planet. As the Earth rotates on its axis, points on its surface pass through these two bulges and the two low tide troughs in between them. This is why most places experience two high tides and two low tides each day, a pattern we call semi-diurnal. Some regions, due to the shape of their coastlines and ocean basins, experience only one high and one low tide per day, diurnal tides, or a mixed pattern where the two high tides and two low tides are of unequal heights, mixed semi-diurnal. The Sun, though much larger than the Moon, is significantly farther away, so its gravitational influence on Earth's tides is about half that of the Moon. But when the Sun, Moon and Earth align, during the new moon and full moon phases, their gravitational pulls combine. This synergy creates exceptionally high tides and exceptionally low tides, which we call spring tides. The word quote 6 here doesn't refer to the season, but to the idea of the tides springing forth with greater vigour. Conversely, when the Sun and Moon are at right angles to each other relative to Earth, during the quarter moon phases, their gravitational forces work against each other. The Sun's pull partially cancels out the Moon's, resulting in smaller differences between high and low tides. These are known as neap tides, tides of lesser range. Can you imagine the rhythmic pulse of these tides, washing over the shores, twice a day, every day for eons? They sculpt coastlines, creating vast intertidal zones where life has adapted to withstand periods of both submersion and exposure. Crabs scuttle into burrows, barnacles clamp shut, and anemones retract their tentacles, all in anticipation of the retreating waters. The tides are a relentless fundamental force, dictating the rhythm of life for countless coastal creatures, influencing navigation for ships, and even holding the potential for clean energy through tidal power generation. So, as you continue to drift, imagine these grand movements. The broad, sweeping currents, carrying warmth and life across the globe, a silent, powerful river within the sea, and the rhythmic, predictable tides, a cosmic breath drawn by the moon and sun, pulling and pushing the waters, ebbing and flowing with an ancient, unwavering cadence. These movements are not separate but interwoven, part of the ocean's vast living tapestry. They remind us that the ocean is never truly at rest, always working, always transforming, always sustaining. We are merely observers, fellow travellers, allowing these profound scientific truths to wash over us, to soothe and to inspire. Let the gentle hum of these oceanic processes carry you deeper into a state of peaceful contemplation. Feel the vastness, the ancient power, the intricate dance of water, wind, and gravity. Allow your mind to float effortlessly with these currents, to rise and fall with these tides as we prepare to explore the very floor upon which these waters rest, the hidden topography of the ocean depths. But that, my friends, is a journey for another moment, another drift into the dreamy academy. For now, simply feel the flow, and let the ocean's ceaseless movements guide you towards your own quiet shores of rest. We have journeyed through the ocean's dynamic, ever-shifting skin, its currents, its tides, its ceaseless breath. But beneath these movements, beneath the veil of the waves, lies a landscape far more ancient, far more varied, and in many ways far more mysterious than any we know on land. Tonight, we invite you to descend with us, slowly, gently, into the profound stillness of the deep, to explore the hidden topography of the ocean floor. Imagine, if you will, the water receding, revealing a world sculpted by forces immense and patient, a world that holds the very blueprints of our planet's formation. Our descent begins not abruptly, but with a gradual yielding of the land to the sea. This is the continental shelf, a shallow, gently sloping plain that extends outward from our shores. Think of it as the submerged edge of the continents themselves, a vast sunlit terrace where light still penetrates, nurturing a vibrant tapestry of life. Here, the water is relatively warm, stirred by waves and currents, rich with nutrients washed down from the land. It is a nursery for many marine species, a bustling, biodiverse realm where kelp forests sway like silent trees, and coral reefs, in warmer latitudes, blossom into cities of stone and living polyps. The continental shelf, though often overlooked, comprises about 7 to 8% of the ocean's area. Yet it is where the vast majority of our commercial fisheries thrive. Geologically, it is an extension of the continental crust, submerged during periods of higher sea level or uplifted during others, a testament to the Earth's constant, slow reshaping. Its gentle inclination hides a profound boundary, a subtle promise of the depths yet to come. As we drift further from the coast, the gentle incline of the shelf begins to steepen dramatically. We are now traversing the continental slope, a true precipice into the abyss. This is where the continental crust truly ends, giving way to the thinner, denser oceanic crust. The slope plunges downward, often at angles far steeper than any mountain road, into the perpetual twilight zone. Here, the light dims to an ethereal blue, then fades entirely, giving way to the velvet darkness of the deep. It is a landscape carved not only by the slow creep of gravity, but also by powerful, turbulent rivers of sediment known as turbidity currents. Imagine underwater avalanches, triggered by earthquakes or unstable accumulations of mud, surging down these slopes, carving out immense submarine canyons that rival and often dwarf the Grand Canyon in scale and depth. These canyons are pathways, conduits for nutrients and organic matter, funneling life-sustaining detritus from the productive shelves to the hungry depths below. At the base of the continental slope, the gradient lessens once more, fanning out into a more gradual incline. This is the continental rise, formed by the accumulation of sediments carried down the slope by those very turbidity currents, spreading out like vast alluvial fans at the foot of an underwater mountain range. It is a transitional zone, a soft landing, an immense apron of debris that slowly, imperceptibly merges with the truly flat plains of the deep ocean. And then we arrive. We float now over the abyssal plains, the vast, flat, largely featureless expanses that cover more than half of the Earth's surface. These are the true deserts of the deep ocean, stretching for thousands of miles, lying at depths typically between 3,000 and 6,000 meters, 10,000 to 20,000 feet. Here, The silence is profound, broken only by the occasional distant tremor of a seismic event or the soft, inaudible rain of marine snow, the ceaseless drift of organic particles, the decaying remains of life from the sunlit waters above, slowly settling to the bottom. The abyssal plains are covered by a thick blanket of fine-grained sediments accumulated over millions of years. This sediment is a geological archive composed of microscopic shells of plankton, fine clay particles carried by winds or currents from distant lands, and the occasional dust from meteorites. It accumulates at an incredibly slow pace, perhaps only a few centimeters every 1,000 years. Can you imagine the patience of such a process? The immense stretches of time represented by just a few inches of this soft, silty floor. Though seemingly barren, these plains are home to a unique and resilient community of creatures, adapted to extreme pressure, perpetual darkness, and scarce food, living lives utterly alien to our surface world. But the ocean floor is far from uniformly flat. Indeed, one of its most astonishing features is a colossal mountain range, the longest on Earth, stretching for over 65,000 kilometers, 40,000 miles, around the globe. We speak, of course, of the mid-ocean ridge system. Imagine a continuous chain of mountains, often twice as wide as the Andes, snaking through every major ocean basin, its peaks and valleys often hidden thousands of meters beneath the surface. This is where our planet truly breathes, where new oceanic crust is born. The mid-ocean ridge is a divergent plate boundary, a place where the Earth's tectonic plates are slowly pulling apart. As they separate, molten rock or magma from the Earth's mantle rises to fill the gap, solidifying to form new seafloor. This process, known as seafloor spreading, is a slow, relentless engine, moving at roughly the same rate as your fingernails grow, perhaps a few centimeters per year. Yet, over millions of years, this steady outpouring of new crust has created entire ocean basins. Along the crest of the ridge, a deep central rift valley often runs, a dramatic canyon where the Earth's crust is thinnest and most actively spreading. Here, volcanic activity is constant, though often unseen. And within these rift valleys, one of the most remarkable discoveries of the 20th century was made: hydrothermal vents. Picture towering chimneys, some reaching tens of meters high, spewing superheated, mineral-rich water, up to 400 degrees Celsius, 750 degrees Fahrenheit, into the frigid deep. These black smokers and white smokers are fueled by seawater seeping into cracks in the crust, heated by the underlying magma, and then expelled, laden with dissolved metals and chemicals. Far from being barren, these vents support vibrant, unique ecosystems. Life here does not rely on sunlight for energy, but on chemosynthesis, a process where specialized bacteria convert chemicals from the vent fluids into organic matter. Giant tube worms, blind shrimp, clams, and mussels thrive in these oases of heat and chemical energy, forming communities utterly independent of the sun's distant rays. It is a profound reminder of the adaptability of life and the Earth's capacity to surprise us with its hidden wonders. From the birthplaces of crust at the ridges, we now turn our attention to its ultimate fate, the oceanic trenches. These are the deepest parts of the ocean, immense, narrow, and incredibly deep valleys that plunge into the Earth's interior. The Mariana Trench, in the Western Pacific, is the most famous, reaching a staggering depth of nearly 11,000 meters, 36,000 feet, at its Challenger Deep, a depth so profound that if Mount Everest were placed within it, its peak would still be more than a mile below the surface. Trenches are formed at convergent plate boundaries, where one tectonic plate is forced beneath another in a process called subduction. Typically, the denser oceanic plate slides beneath a less dense continental plate or another oceanic plate. As the oceanic plate descends back into the mantle, it creates these profound depressions. This process is not a gentle one. It is accompanied by intense seismic activity, leading to many of the world's most powerful earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, often forming volcanic island arcs like the Aleutian Islands, or mountain ranges along continental margins like the Andes. The immense pressure and perpetual darkness of the trenches host life forms that are truly extremophiles, adapted to conditions that would crush and freeze any surface creature. These are realms of slow, deliberate existence, where the very fabric of the earth is being recycled, and the ancient crust returns to the fiery embrace of the mantle. As we continue our exploration, imagine isolated peaks rising dramatically from the abyssal plains, like forgotten mountains in a vast underwater desert. These are seamounts, submerged volcanoes that never quite reach the surface. They are typically formed by volcanic activity, often near mid-ocean ridges or over hotspots in the Earth's mantle, like the Hawaiian Emperor seamount chain. Their rocky surfaces provide hard substrates for deep-sea corals, sponges, and other invertebrates, creating biodiversity hotspots in the otherwise flat abyssal environment. Some seamounts, however, have distinctive flat tops. These are called guyots. They began their lives as active volcanoes, perhaps even islands, rising above sea level. Over immense spans of geological time, wave action eroded their peaks flat. Then, as the underlying oceanic crust moved away from the hotspot or slowly subsided, the flattened volcano sank back below the waves, preserving its distinctive tabletop shape in the deep. They are silent monuments to ancient shorelines and the relentless, patient work of both erosion and planetary movement. We have traversed, in our imagination, a landscape of immense scale and profound beauty, from the familiar sunlit continental shelves to the plunging canyons of the slopes, across the silent, sediment-laden abyssal plains, over the fiery, life-giving mid-ocean ridges, into the crushing depths of the oceanic trenches, and past the solitary sentinels of seamounts and guyots. Each feature tells a story of the Earth's dynamic past and its ongoing, powerful geological processes. This hidden world, largely unseen by human eyes, is a testament to the Earth's intricate workings, a constant reminder of the forces that shape our home. It is a realm of extreme pressures, perpetual darkness, and astonishing life forms, all interconnected, all part of the grand, flowing system of our planet. As we gently ascend from these depths, letting the imagined waters softly close over this incredible topography once more, carry with you the sense of wonder, the quiet understanding of this vast unseen world beneath the waves. Let these images, these deep-sea landscapes drift through your mind, soothing and expansive, as you continue your journey into peaceful rest. The ocean holds countless more secrets, but for now, let the quiet profundity of its hidden floor guide you into the deepest, most tranquil sleep. We have journeyed, you and I, through the very architecture of the ocean, tracing the unseen contours of its abyssal plains, scaling the vastness of its underwater mountain ranges, and peering into the silent, profound depths of its trenches. We felt the pulse of its currents and tides, understood the very essence of its water, and imagined the dramatic forces that shape its hidden landscapes. Now, as our gaze lifts from the sculpted rock and sediment, a new marvel unfolds before us, perhaps the most astonishing of all, the vibrant, astonishing, and infinitely varied tapestry of life that calls this watery world home. Imagine, if you will, the sheer audacity of life itself, clinging to existence, thriving, evolving, and flourishing in conditions that range from sun-drenched shallows to lightless pressures that would crush any terrestrial being. The ocean is not merely a basin or a conduit. It is a living, breathing entity, teeming with a diversity so profound it often defies our terrestrial imagination. It is a realm where every drop of water, every grain of sediment, every sunbeam, and every shadow holds the potential for wonder. As we gently drift into this new exploration, let us remember the fundamental principle that underpins nearly all life on Earth: energy. On land, we instinctively look to the sun, to the green leaves reaching skyward, transforming light into sustenance. The ocean, too, is largely powered by this distant star, though its mechanics are often hidden from our view. At the very foundation of most marine food webs are the tireless microscopic architects of life, the phytoplankton. These are the ocean's silent forests, vast meadows of single-celled organisms, so small they are invisible to the naked eye, yet so numerous they collectively produce more than half of the oxygen we breathe. Think of that for a moment. The very air filling your lungs right now carries the breath of the ocean's microscopic inhabitants. They are the primary producers, absorbing sunlight and converting carbon dioxide and nutrients into organic matter through the miraculous process of photosynthesis. Without them, the intricate web of marine life, from the smallest copepod to the largest whale, would simply cease to exist. They are the invisible engine, the quiet giants, the true heart of the ocean's productivity. Imagine them now, countless billions, drifting near the surface, each a tiny solar panel, silently fueling the planet. Yet, as we discovered when exploring the mid-ocean ridges, not all life bows to the sun's distant warmth. Deep within the abyssal plains, around those remarkable hydrothermal vents we spoke of, life finds an alternative, equally profound source of energy. Here, where sunlight cannot penetrate, the process of chemosynthesis takes over. Instead of light, certain microorganisms, the chemosynthetic bacteria and archaea, use chemical energy derived from the compounds spewing forth from the Earth's interior, like hydrogen sulfide, to produce organic matter. These extremophils form the base of unique, isolated ecosystems, supporting bizarre and wonderful creatures like giant tube worms, blind shrimp and specialized crabs, all thriving in perpetual darkness, nourished by Earth's internal fires. It is a powerful reminder that life, in its infinite ingenuity, will find a way, even in the most extreme and seemingly inhospitable corners of our world. With these foundational energy sources established, we can begin to categorize the myriad forms of life that inhabit the ocean. Marine biologists often group organisms based on their lifestyle and their relationship to the water column and seafloor. First, we have the plankton, a word derived from the Greek meaning drifter. These are organisms that are unable to swim against the ocean's currents and tides, instead moving wherever the water takes them. This vast category includes phytoplankton. As we've discussed, these are the plant-like primary producers performing photosynthesis. Diatoms, dinoflagellates, and coccolithophores are just a few examples, each a marvel of microscopic engineering and beauty. Zooplankton. These are the animal-like drifters, ranging from microscopic protozoa to jellyfish, and the larval stages of larger marine animals. They graze on phytoplankton or consume smaller zooplankton, forming the crucial link between the primary producers and the larger animals of the ocean. Imagine shimmering clouds of copepods, tiny crustaceans filtering the water, or the delicate bell-shaped bodies of jellyfish, pulsating gently through the currents, each a vital thread in the ocean's living fabric. Next, we encounter the annecton, the powerful swimmers, capable of propelling themselves through the water, navigating currents, and actively seeking food and mates. This group encompasses the creatures we most often associate with the ocean's majesty. Fish. From the sleek, fast-moving tuna that traverse entire ocean basins to the camouflaged bottom dwellers, fish exhibit an astonishing array of shapes, sizes, and adaptations. Their streamlined bodies, powerful fins, and specialized gills allow them to master their watery domain. Marine mammals. Whales, dolphins, seals, sea lions, and manatees. Warm-blooded, air-breathing creatures that have returned to the ocean, showcasing remarkable adaptations for diving, hunting, and communicating in a fluid environment. Imagine the haunting songs of humpback whales echoing through the deep, or the playful acrobatics of dolphins leaping from the waves. Cephalopods, squids, octopuses, and cuttlefish, masters of camouflage and intelligent hunters, propelled by jet propulsion, their changing colours and intricate behaviours a constant source of fascination. Finally, we descend to the ocean floor to meet the benthos, the bottom dwellers, organisms that live on, in, or attached to the seabed. This group is incredibly diverse, reflecting the varied topography we explored in our last chapter. Sessile benthos. Those that are attached to the substrate, unable to move freely. Think of the vibrant corals forming intricate reefs, the filter-feeding sponges creating living architecture, or the anemones swaying gently with the currents, their stinging tentacles poised for passing prey. Mobile benthos. Creatures that can move across the seafloor. This includes the scuttling crabs, the slow-moving sea stars and sea urchins, the burrowing clams and worms, and the flatfish that lie perfectly camouflaged against the sediment. As we consider these categories, we must also consider the ocean's various habitats and zones. For life adapts remarkably to the specific conditions each zone presents. The ocean is not a uniform environment. It is a gradient of light, pressure, temperature, and nutrient availability, each fostering unique communities. Let us begin at the surface, in the sunlit world of the sphotic zone. This is the uppermost layer, typically extending to about 200 meters, around 650 feet, where enough sunlight penetrates for photosynthesis to occur. This is where the phytoplankton flourish, forming the base of the food web. It is a zone of vibrant colour, teeming with life, schools of fish darting through coral reefs, marine mammals breaching the surface, and countless invertebrates drifting or swimming. This is the ocean's garden, its most visible and productive realm, a place of constant activity and breathtaking beauty. Feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. Imagine it penetrating the clear water, illuminating the dance of life beneath. Below the photic zone lies the mysterious twilight zone, or mesopelagic zone, which stretches from about 200 meters down to 1,000 meters, 300 feet. Here, sunlight becomes a mere whisper, a faint blue glow that barely penetrates the gloom. Photosynthesis is impossible, and life adapts to perpetual twilight. Many creatures in this zone possess large, sensitive eyes to capture what little light remains. It is a world of vertical migrators, animals that ascend to the surface at night to feed under the cover of darkness, and then retreat to the deeper, safer shadows during the day to avoid predators. Imagine schools of lanternfish, their undersides studded with light-emitting organs, mimicking the faint light from above, making them nearly invisible to predators below. This is a zone of subtle shifts, of quiet movements, where survival often hinges on invisibility or fleeting glimpses. Beyond 1,000 meters, we enter the realm of absolute darkness, the midnight zone, or bathypelagic zone. Here, no sunlight ever reaches, and the only light is produced by the creatures themselves, a phenomenon known as bioluminescence. This is a world of extreme pressure, near freezing temperatures and sparse food resources. Life here is often characterized by slow metabolisms, specialized adaptations for hunting in the dark, and often grotesque yet fascinating forms. Anglerfish with their glowing lures, viperfish with their needle-sharp teeth, and gelatinous creatures that drift silently through the abyss. These are the inhabitants of the midnight zone. They use bioluminescence for communication, to attract prey, or to startle predators. Imagine the silence, the profound darkness, occasionally punctuated by a flash of ghostly light, a fleeting signal in the vast cold void. Below the midnight zone, we find the abyssal zone, from 4,000 to 6,000 meters, or 13,000 to 20,000 feet, and finally, the deepest of all, the tidal zone, within the oceanic trenches below 6,000 meters, down to nearly 11,000 meters. These are realms of crushing pressure, near freezing temperatures, and a scarcity of food, which typically arrives as marine snow, dead organic matter slowly drifting down from the productive surface waters. Life here is incredibly specialized, often relying on scavenging or the unique chemosynthetic communities around hydrothermal vents, as we touched upon earlier. Blind, pale creatures, often soft-bodied or with incredibly robust skeletons, inhabit these profound depths, moving with a slowness that reflects the ancient, unchanging nature of their environment. Across all these zones, marine life has developed an astonishing array of adaptations to thrive in its watery domain. Buoyancy control. From the gas bladders of fish to the oil-filled livers of sharks or the porous bones of whales, maintaining position in the water column without expending too much energy is vital. Bioluminescence. As we noted, the ability to produce light is widespread in the deep sea, used for hunting, mating, and defense. Pressure resistance. Cells and enzymes are specially adapted to function under thousands of pounds per square inch of pressure, preventing collapse. Osmoregulation. Marine organisms must constantly regulate the salt and water balance within their bodies to survive in a saline environment. Specialized feeding strategies. From filter-feeding baleen whales to the ambush predators of the deep, every niche has a unique way of acquiring sustenance. As we conclude this exploration of the ocean's vibrant life, it becomes clear that every creature, from the smallest bacterium to the largest whale, is inextricably linked, forming an intricate web of interdependence. The health of the phytoplankton dictates the health of the entire food chain. The stability of the deep-sea vents supports unique oases of life. The rhythmic migrations of the twilight zone animals connect distant parts of the ocean. This interconnectedness highlights not only the astonishing resilience of life, but also its profound fragility. The ocean, with all its wonder and mystery, is a delicate balance, an ancient system that continues to evolve and surprise us. We have only begun to scratch the surface of its biological complexity, with countless species yet to be discovered and untold ecological stories waiting to be understood. For now, let these images of teeming life, from the sunlit surface to the abyssal darkness, gently settle in your mind. Feel the vastness of the ocean's living heart, its ceaseless pulse, its quiet breathing. Allow the wonder of this intricate living world to lull you further into a state of peaceful contemplation. We have seen the ocean's physical form, and now we have glimpsed its living soul. In our next shared journey, perhaps we shall delve into the very fabric of these ecosystems, understanding how they thrive and how they face the challenges of our changing world. But for now, let the quiet hum of the ocean's life guide you deeper into your rest. And so, we have journeyed together, fellow travelers, through the luminous realms of the ocean, from its sunlit skin to its deepest, most mysterious abysses. We have marveled at the ingenious adaptations of life, from the smallest phytoplankton, breathing life into our world, to the colossal whales, ancient wanderers of the blue. We have witnessed the ocean's profound interconnectedness, a vast and intricate web where every current, every creature, every chemical whisper plays a vital role. But with this profound wonder, this deep appreciation for the ocean's boundless creativity, comes a quiet responsibility, a gentle stirring of awareness regarding the delicate balance that sustains it all. For this magnificent realm, so ancient and seemingly immutable, is not impervious to the subtle, yet powerful, influences of our own presence on this planet. Imagine, if you will, the very breath of our planet, the air we exhale, the gases we release into the atmosphere, subtly altering the ocean's chemistry. Carbon dioxide, increasing in our atmosphere from human activities, dissolves into the vast waters, creating a slow, invisible shift. This is ocean acidification, a quiet erosion of the very building blocks of life itself. We learned of the ocean's unparalleled capacity as a universal solvent, a property that allows it to absorb much of this excess carbon dioxide. Yet this absorption comes at a cost. As more CO2 dissolves, it forms carbonic acid, which then lowers the pH of the seawater, making it more acidic. Consider the delicate shells of countless marine organisms, the tiny pteropods, often called quote 12, which form the base of many food webs. The corals, architects of vast underwater cities, the oysters, clams and mussels, each encased in a protective calcium carbonate shell. These creatures rely on a precise chemical balance in water to extract calcium carbonate and build their structures. As the ocean becomes more acidic, this crucial compound becomes scarcer, and the energy these organisms must expend to form and maintain their shells increases dramatically. For some, the very process of shell formation becomes impossible, their existing shells beginning to dissolve. It is a silent crisis, unfolding beneath the waves, threatening to unravel the intricate fabric of marine ecosystems from their very foundations. And alongside this chemical shift, there is another profound transformation taking place: the warming of the ocean. The ocean, with its immense heat capacity, has absorbed over 90% of the excess heat generated by human emissions since the Industrial Revolution. This absorption has mitigated surface air temperature increases, but at a significant cost to marine life. Picture the vibrant coral reefs, those kaleidoscopic gardens beneath the waves teeming with life. These are incredibly sensitive ecosystems, and even slight increases in water temperature can cause them to expel the symbiotic algae that live within their tissues, providing them with food and colour. This phenomenon is known as coral bleaching, and it leaves the corals vulnerable, sickly white, and often leads to their demise. Imagine a city suddenly drained of its colour, its energy, its very essence. That is the silent tragedy of a bleached reef. Beyond the reefs, a warming ocean brings other widespread changes. It alters ocean currents, influencing weather patterns across the globe. It forces many marine species to migrate towards cooler poles, disrupting established ecosystems and food webs. It also reduces the ocean's capacity to hold dissolved oxygen, creating vast dead zones where life struggles to survive. This is particularly concerning in deeper waters, where oxygen is already naturally scarcer. We explored the thermohaline circulation, that global conveyor belt, and how its delicate balance can be affected by changes in temperature and salinity, potentially altering the distribution of heat and nutrients across the entire planet. But the challenges do not end with these invisible shifts in chemistry and temperature. Our physical presence, our daily lives, also leave tangible marks upon the ocean. Consider the pervasive issue of plastic pollution. From the bustling shores to the most remote trenches, fragments of plastic now permeate every corner of the marine environment. Imagine a single-use bottle, discarded thoughtlessly, embarking on an epic journey across continents, carried by the very currents we once admired for their magnificent power. Over time, sunlight and waves break it down into smaller and smaller pieces, microplastics, shimmering like forgotten stardust, yet carrying a different kind of burden. These tiny fragments are ingested by marine life, from microscopic plankton to colossal whales, mistaking them for food. They accumulate in the digestive tracts of creatures, leading to starvation, internal injuries, and the leaching of harmful chemicals. Picture a seabird, its stomach filled with colourful plastic fragments, unable to digest real food. Or a sea turtle, its nostrils obstructed by a plastic straw. The sheer scale of this problem is almost unimaginable, creating vast garbage patches in our gyres, but also dispersing these insidious particles throughout the entire water column and ultimately into the food web that sustains us all. Then there is the ancient human endeavour of harvesting from the sea, fishing. For millennia, humanity has looked to the ocean as a source of sustenance and livelihood. But in our modern era, with advanced technologies and ever-increasing demand, our capacity to extract marine life has sometimes outpaced the ocean's ability to replenish itself. This is the challenge of overfishing. Imagine the delicate threads of the food web, intricately woven over millennia. When one thread is pulled too tightly or severed, the entire tapestry shivers. Depleting fish stocks not only threatens the survival of individual species, but also cascades throughout the ecosystem, affecting predators, prey, and the overall health of the marine environment. Beyond the targeted species, there is the tragic phenomenon of bycatch, the accidental capture of non-target species, often endangered or vulnerable in fishing gear. Imagine a net cast for tuna, inadvertently ensnaring dolphins, sea turtles, or seabirds, which are then discarded, often lifeless. It is a stark reminder of the unintended consequences of even well-intentioned human activities, and finally, consider the physical alteration and destruction of marine habitats. Our coastal development, though driven by human needs, often encroaches upon and destroys vital ecosystems like mangrove forests, which serve as nurseries for countless marine species and crucial buffers against storms. Imagine the vibrant estuaries and salt marshes teeming with life, slowly giving way to concrete and steel. Even the ancient landscapes of the seafloor, which we explored in our descent, are vulnerable. Certain fishing practices, such as bottom trawling, involve dragging heavy nets across the ocean floor, indiscriminately destroying fragile deep-sea corals, sponge gardens, and other slow-growing benthic communities that have taken centuries, if not millennia, to form. It is akin to clear-cutting an ancient forest, leaving behind a barren, scarred landscape where life once flourished. It is a complex dance, these challenges, each step influencing the next. A warming ocean holds less oxygen, making life harder for creatures already struggling with changing pH. A plastic-choked reef cannot recover from a bleaching event. Overfishing removes key species that maintain the health of ecosystems, making them more vulnerable to pollution and climate change. The interconnectedness we celebrated in the ocean's natural systems now highlights the interconnectedness of its threats. Why do we pause to consider these shadows, these vulnerabilities of the vast blue? Because the ocean is not merely a distant expanse. It is the beating heart of our world. It breathes for us, producing over half of the oxygen we inhale. It regulates our climate, absorbing heat and carbon, distributing warmth and moisture across the globe. It holds the genesis of all life and continues to sustain an astonishing diversity that inspires awe and wonder. To understand its struggles is to understand our own, for our well-being is inextricably linked to the health of the ocean. But even in these considerations there is a quiet strength, a gentle stirring of hope. For human ingenuity, when guided by wisdom and reverence, possesses the capacity for profound healing. Imagine marine protected areas, like sacred sanctuaries beneath the waves, where life can flourish undisturbed, where ecosystems can recover and thrive, offering a glimpse of what the ocean can be when given space to breathe. Think of sustainable choices in our daily lives, small ripples of intention that spread outwards, creating larger waves of change, choosing sustainably sourced seafood, reducing our plastic consumption, advocating for cleaner energy. Consider the scientists, the conservationists, the countless individuals around the globe who dedicate their lives to understanding, protecting, and restoring the ocean's health. Their efforts, often unseen, are a testament to our shared capacity for care and stewardship. The same curiosity that led us to explore the ocean's depths can also lead us to protect its future. And so, as the currents of these thoughts gently recede, allow your own mind to drift towards a peaceful harbour. The ocean, in all its majesty and vulnerability, continues its ancient work, a vast living entity that breathes and pulses beneath the surface of our awareness. You, fellow traveller, have journeyed deeply into its embrace, exploring its wonders and contemplating its challenges. May your rest be as vast and as tranquil as the ocean itself, carrying these whispers of wonder and responsibility into the quiet depths of your dreams. Let the gentle rocking of these thoughts lull you into a profound and restorative sleep, knowing that the ocean, in all its complexity, holds both profound beauty and a quiet call for our mindful attention. And so, we arrive, fellow travellers, at this quiet harbour, at the culmination of our journey together through the boundless blue. We've navigated the currents of knowledge, descended into the abyssal plains of understanding, and risen with the tides of new insights. In our previous chapter, we confronted the shadows that fall upon the ocean, the challenges that ripple through its depths and across its surface. We spoke of warming waters, acidifying seas, the pervasive whisper of plastic, and the silences left by overfishing. Yet, even in those discussions, we sought not despair, but a quiet, resolute hope. A hope rooted in our capacity for stewardship, for thoughtful action, for reverence. Now, as the hour deepens and the world outside begins its own slow descent into slumber, we invite you to move beyond the urgency of those challenges, not to forget them, but to integrate them into a deeper, more profound appreciation. For the ocean is not merely a collection of scientific phenomena or a resource to be managed. It is a living entity, an ancient consciousness, a mirror reflecting the very essence of life on Earth, and indeed within ourselves. Let us for a moment simply be with the ocean. Allow the images and sensations we've gathered to gently unfurl in your mind's eye. Recall the primordial whisper of water arriving on a nascent Earth, a cosmic gift cradled in volcanic steam and icy comets. Can you feel the vastness of that ancient time, the incredible serendipity that allowed this blue miracle to unfold? This water, this very essence, has been here for eons, shaping mountains, carving canyons, giving rise to every breath of life. Think of the ocean's ceaseless breath, the grand symphony of its movements, the surface currents, like invisible rivers, drawing warmth from the equator and carrying it to distant shores, shaping climates, sculpting coastlines. The majestic thermohaline circulation, that global conveyor belt, moving with an unhurried grace through the abyssal dark, linking every ocean basin, every corner of our planet in a slow, vital embrace. And the tides, those rhythmic sighs of the earth itself, pulled by the invisible threads of the moon and sun, reminding us of cosmic forces at play, of a universal dance that never ceases. Feel that rhythm now, perhaps in your own breathing, a gentle ebb and flow, a natural cadence that connects you to something far larger than yourself. We journeyed to the hidden topography of the ocean floor, did we not? We imagined ourselves gliding over the gentle slope of the continental shelf, then plunging down the dramatic continental slope where canyons lie hidden, carved by unseen currents. We traversed the abyssal plains, vast and silent, dotted with the occasional seamount like ancient solitary islands rising from the deep, and then the marvel of the mid-ocean ridge, a fiery seam where new crust is born, where life flourishes in the absence of light sustained by the Earth's own inner heat. We peered into the deepest trenches, those profound scars on the Earth's face, where pressure is unimaginable, yet life persists, adapting, thriving in ways that defy our surface world understanding. These landscapes, unseen by most, are as varied and magnificent as any above the waves, holding secrets that whisper of Earth's geological history and its boundless capacity for creation. And oh, the life, the sheer, exuberant, bewildering tapestry of life that pulses within the ocean's embrace, from the microscopic phytoplankton, unseen architects of our atmosphere, to the colossal whales, ancient wanderers of the deep. Remember the plankton, drifting with the currents, the foundation of nearly every marine food web, tiny engines of life, the nekton, those graceful swimmers, fish in shimmering schools, playful dolphins, stoic sharks, and the gentle giants of the sea, and the benthos, creatures of the seafloor, some rooted, some crawling, some burrowing, each playing its part in the grand, intricate drama of the deep. We explored the sunlit photic zone, vibrant with colour and energy, then descended through the twilight world, where shadows lengthen and bioluminescence begins its ethereal dance. Deeper still, into the midnight zone, where perpetual darkness reigns, and life has evolved in astonishing ways to find food, to communicate, to simply be. And finally, the crushing depths of the abyssal and tidal zones, where life is sparse but resilient, pushing the boundaries of what we thought possible. What an extraordinary journey it has been, a testament to the ocean's boundless diversity and enduring mystery. And as we reflect on these wonders, we realize that the challenges we discussed in our previous chapter are not separate from this beauty, but deeply intertwined with it. They are the echoes of our own actions, ripples in the grand tapestry of life. But understanding, dear listener, is the first step towards reverence, and reverence is the wellspring of true stewardship. Tonight, let us allow the ocean to wash over us not just as a subject of study, but as a source of profound peace and ancient wisdom. Have you ever stood by the sea, listening to the rhythmic crash and retreat of the waves? That sound, that timeless cadence, has soothed human souls for millennia. It speaks of eternity, of forces beyond our control, yet it also speaks of constancy, of a gentle, persistent presence. Close your eyes now and simply listen to the imagined sound of the ocean. Let it fill the quiet space around you, a lullaby from the deepest parts of our world. The ocean, in its vastness, can feel overwhelming, can it not? But it can also be incredibly grounding. When we contemplate its immense scale, our own concerns can sometimes feel smaller, less urgent, allowing a sense of perspective to gently settle upon us. It reminds us that we are part of something magnificent, something enduring. The worries of the day, the anxious thoughts that might cling to the edges of your mind, can be imagined as grains of sand, picked up by the incoming tide, and then gently, inevitably, drawn back out to sea, dissolving into the endless expanse. Consider the ocean not just as a physical body of water, but as a metaphor for our own inner worlds. It holds depths we rarely explore, currents of emotion that move beneath the surface, and vibrant ecosystems of thought and feeling. Like the ocean, we contain multitudes. We have our sunlit shallows of joy and clarity, our twilight zones of introspection and contemplation, and our deep, mysterious abysses where ancient wisdom and undiscovered truths reside. To explore the ocean is, in a way, to explore ourselves, to acknowledge the unfathomable depths and the boundless potential within. The ocean has been the muse for countless artists, poets, and dreamers throughout history. It has inspired myths of sea monsters and mermaids, tales of heroic voyages and tragic shipwrecks. Its power and mystery have shaped cultures, influenced philosophies, and stirred the human spirit in countless ways. Why? Because it resonates with something primal within us. We are, after all, creatures of water. Our bodies are largely composed of it, mirroring the blue planet we inhabit. Our very existence, our evolutionary journey, began in its ancient embrace. Every cell in your body carries the memory of that primordial soup, that salty cradle of life. This deep, intrinsic connection means that when we speak of stewardship, we are not speaking of protecting something separate from ourselves, but of nurturing a vital part of our own being. It is not a burden, but a privilege. It is an act of self-preservation, yes, but more profoundly, it is an act of love, of reverence for the source of all life. To care for the ocean is to honour our origins, to safeguard our present, and to ensure a future where wonder continues to thrive. As we drift deeper into this peaceful space, allow the understanding we've gained to settle within you, not as mere facts, but as a felt sense of interconnectedness. You are not just observing the ocean, you are part of it. The air you breathe, the climate that sustains you, the very water that flows through your veins, all are inextricably linked to the pulse of the great blue. Let the knowledge of its vastness, its ancient history, its vibrant life, and its enduring resilience fill you with a sense of calm and awe. The ocean, despite its challenges, continues its grand, silent work. It continues to breathe, to move, to nurture. It asks only that we remember our place within its embrace, that we listen to its whispers, and that we act with wisdom and compassion. Tonight, as you prepare to surrender to the gentle currents of sleep, carry this sense of wonder with you. Imagine yourself floating effortlessly on the surface of a calm, moonlit sea, the stars above reflecting in the inky depths below. Feel the gentle rocking motion, the vastness stretching out in every direction, the profound peace that comes from being held by something so ancient, so powerful, and so full of life. Let the knowledge of the ocean's mysteries, from its cosmic birth to its deepest trenches, from its smallest plankton to its largest whales, become a part of your dreams. May the rhythmic ebb and flow of its tides lull you into a deep and restorative sleep. and may you awaken with a renewed sense of connection, a quiet appreciation, and a peaceful understanding of the magnificent blue heart of our planet. The ocean awaits you, always, a boundless source of wonder, wisdom, and tranquility. Rest now, and let its ancient lullaby carry you into the dreaming deep. We have journeyed far, haven't we, fellow travellers? From the cosmic dust that cradled our planet's first waters to the intricate dance of life within its deepest trenches, we have traced the ocean's story, a saga of immense power and delicate balance. We have seen its wisdom reflected in the ancient rhythms of tides and currents, in the quiet resilience of its creatures, and in the profound, life-giving chemistry of its very being. Chapter 6 offered us a moment of quiet reflection, inviting us to hold this vast blue heart of our world not merely as a subject of study, but as a source of inner peace, a mirror for our own depths, and a sacred trust. Now, as the quiet hours deepen around us, we invite you to consider something even more intimate. The ocean's whisper, not just in the grand narratives of the planet, but in the subtle, pervasive tapestry of our daily lives, in the very core of our being. For the ocean, in its boundless generosity, does not confine its influence to the coastal shores or the vast open expanses. Its reach extends far beyond, touching every breath we take, every drop of rain that falls, every beat of our ancient sea-born hearts. Think for a moment of the air that fills your lungs right now, the gentle rhythmic expansion and contraction of your chest. Do you remember how we spoke of phytoplankton, those microscopic emerald jewels of the sunlit surface? They are the silent, tireless alchemists, performing the vast majority of our planet's oxygen production. So, with every inhale, you draw in the very breath of the ocean, a testament to its unseen, unwavering support for all terrestrial life. It is a profound, continuous exchange, a respiration shared between the great blue lung of the earth and every living creature upon it. Can you feel that connection, that ancient vital thread that links your every breath to the ceaseless undulating rhythm of the waves? And what of the water itself? We spoke of the ocean as the grand reservoir, the engine of the global water cycle. Imagine the sun's gentle warmth caressing the ocean's surface, lifting countless molecules of water into the sky, forming the clouds that drift on unseen currents. These clouds, born of the sea, journey across continents, releasing their precious cargo as rain, sleet, or snow, nourishing forests, filling rivers, sustaining crops, and replenishing the very water we drink. Even if you reside thousands of miles from the nearest coastline, the water in your glass, the rain on your roof, the moisture in the air, much of it has at some point been part of that vast shimmering ocean. It is a continuous circulating embrace, a reminder that we are never truly separate from the sea, but rather woven into its magnificent life-sustaining flow. Consider too the subtle echoes within our own physiology, the salt in our tears, the mineral composition of our blood. They bear a striking resemblance to the ancient oceans from which life first emerged. We carry within us a faint, living memory of that primordial soup, a biological blueprint etched by the very waters that cradled our earliest ancestors. Is it any wonder, then, that we feel such an innate pull towards the ocean, a sense of homecoming when we stand before its boundless expanse? It is not merely a beautiful landscape, it is a reflection of our own origins, a deep, resonant chords struck within our very cells. Beyond the biological, the ocean's influence permeates our human story, shaping our cultures, inspiring our arts, and stirring the depths of our collective psyche. How many myths and legends have sprung from the sea's enigmatic embrace? Tales of mermaids and krakens, of epic voyages and lost cities, of benevolent guardians and formidable deities. The ocean has always been a canvas for our imagination, a projection of our deepest fears and our most soaring aspirations. It represents both the unknown and the source of all life, a duality that continues to fascinate and humble us. Think of the artists whose palettes are dominated by its shifting hues, the musicians who find rhythm in its crashing waves, the poets who seek solace and metaphor in its infinite horizons. The ocean is an eternal muse, its beauty and power transcending language, speaking directly to the soul. Its vastness invites contemplation, its depth encourages introspection, and its ceaseless motion reminds us of the constant flux of life itself. Even in the quiet of your own space, far from the sound of breaking surf, simply recalling the image of the ocean, or allowing its imagined sounds to wash over you, can evoke a profound sense of calm, a gentle release of tension. This brings us to a crucial point of connection, the ocean's therapeutic power. Why do we instinctively seek out the coast for solace, for healing, for renewal? Is it the broad, open space that offers perspective? Is it the rhythmic ebb and flow of the tides, a natural metronome that synchronizes with our own internal rhythms, slowing our breath, calming our minds? The sound of waves, a phenomenon studied for its ability to induce a meditative state, is often described as, quote, 15 for the soul, masking distractions and inviting a deeper sense of peace. It's a primal sound, one that whispers of continuity, of something larger and more enduring than our transient concerns. Even now, as you listen, perhaps you can conjure that sound in your mind's ear, allowing its gentle murmur to soften the edges of your awareness, drawing you deeper into tranquility. So, when we speak of stewardship, of our responsibility to protect this magnificent blue world, it is not an abstract concept, nor a burden imposed from without. It is, in its deepest sense, an act of self-preservation, an extension of our care for ourselves, for our shared humanity, and for the very fabric of life that sustains us. To nurture the ocean is to nurture the source of our breath, the origin of our rain, the wellspring of our imagination, and the quiet balm for our spirits. It is a recognition that the well-being of the planet is inextricably linked to our own. This stewardship begins not with grand, sweeping gestures, though those are vital, but with a quiet internal shift. It begins with awareness, with mindfulness in our choices, with a conscious appreciation for the ocean's pervasive gifts. It might be a small decision to reduce plastic use, a moment spent educating ourselves or others, or simply a deeper, more reverent connection to the natural world around us, knowing that even the smallest stream eventually finds its way to the sea. Each conscious choice, each moment of gratitude sends a ripple outward, contributing to a larger current of care and reverence. And as we prepare to drift into the deepest currents of sleep, let us consider the ocean one last time, not as an external entity, but as a profound metaphor for our own inner landscape, for the mysterious, restorative journey of the unconscious mind. Like the ocean, our inner world has its sunlit surface, where thoughts and awareness dance, but beneath there are vast, silent depths, where dreams stir like deep-sea currents, where memories reside like ancient shipwrecks, where intuition surfaces like luminous, unknown creatures. To fall asleep is to embark on a nightly descent into these personal depths. We let go of the surface chatter, allowing the gentle pull of unconsciousness to guide us down, down, into a realm of quietude and regeneration. Just as the ocean's depths are a place of profound calm, untouched by surface storms, so too does deep sleep offer a sanctuary for our minds and bodies, allowing for repair, for integration, for renewal. Imagine yourself now floating effortlessly on the surface of a calm moonlit sea. The water is warm, supportive, holding you gently. Beneath you, the depths are silent, expansive, filled with a peaceful darkness. You are not afraid, for you know this place. It is a part of you, and you are a part of it. Feel the gentle rise and fall of the water beneath you, mirroring the slow, steady rhythm of your own breath. With each exhale, you sink a little deeper, releasing any remaining tension, any lingering thoughts. Allow the ocean's vastness to expand within you, creating space for profound rest. Let its ancient wisdom soothe your anxieties, its boundless generosity fill you with a sense of peace. As you drift, remember that you are connected to this magnificent blue heart of our world, not just in concept, but in every cell of your being, in every breath you take, in every dream that stirs in your sleep. The ocean has shared its stories, its science, its challenges, and its enduring wisdom with us. Now, it offers its deepest gift, the invitation to surrender, to trust, to rest. Carry its tranquility with you as you descend into the realm of dreams, knowing that its gentle rhythmic pulse will guide you through the night, leaving you refreshed, renewed, and ready to embrace the dawn. May your sleep be as deep and restorative as the ocean's abyssal plains, and your dreams as vast and wondrous as its endless horizons. Rest now, fellow traveller, cradled by the profound, eternal embrace of the ocean. We have journeyed far, haven't we, fellow travellers? From the cosmic dust that cradled Earth's first waters, through the churning gyres and the silent abyssal plains, past the vibrant coral cities and the mysterious hydrothermal vents. We have witnessed the ocean's breath in the tides, felt its pulse in the currents, and understood its ancient wisdom in the very cradle of life it provides. Now, as the last glimmers of our conscious exploration begin to soften, we find ourselves at a new threshold, not an ending, but a gentle transition into the deeper, more intuitive understanding that awaits us in the quietude of rest. Remember how we spoke of the ocean as a mirror, reflecting the vastness and complexity of our own inner worlds? This is where our journey truly deepens, beyond the charts and the scientific classifications, into the realm of felt experience. The ocean, in its boundless grace, has offered us not just facts, but feelings, not just data, but dreams. It has taught us in its murmuring depths that true learning often transcends the intellect, settling instead into the very marrow of our being, a soft, resonant hum that guides us towards tranquility. Consider the profound stillness we found in the tidal zone, that deepest, most remote trench. It was a stillness not of absence, but of immense pressure, of time slowed to an ancient crawl where life persists in forms we can barely imagine. This profound quietude, too, exists within you. Beneath the surface currents of daily thought, beneath the waves of emotion, there lies an abyssal calm, a reservoir of peace that is always accessible. The ocean has merely reminded us of its presence, a gentle nudge towards our own inherent tranquility. We carry the ocean within us, not merely as a biological truth, the saline composition of our blood echoing ancient seas, but as a spiritual inheritance. The ebb and flow of our breath, the rhythmic beat of our hearts, the very cycles of our wakefulness and sleep, all mirror the ocean's tireless dance. When we spoke of stewardship, of protecting these magnificent waters, we were, in essence, speaking of self-preservation, of nurturing the very source of our being and our peace. For how can we be truly whole if the source of such wonder, such life, is diminished? As your eyelids grow heavier, perhaps you can feel this connection more keenly. Imagine now, not just the vastness out there, but the vastness within. The cool, dark depths of the ocean are not so different from the quiet, dark space you now inhabit, preparing for sleep. Both are realms of profound restoration, where the clamour of the world recedes, and deeper, more fundamental processes take over. The lessons we've absorbed, like the gentle lapping of waves on a shore, are not meant to be held captive by the waking mind, but to dissolve into the subconscious. Let them permeate your thoughts, not as burdens of information, but as soft, soothing currents. The intricate dance of plankton, the silent majesty of whales, the fiery breath of hydrothermal vents. These images are now part of your inner tapestry, woven into the fabric of your dreams. They are there to remind you, even in slumber, of the world's enduring beauty and your intrinsic place within it. We have learned of the ocean's immense power, its capacity to shape continents and weather storms. Yet, we have also recognized its delicate balance, its vulnerability to our touch. This paradox, strength intertwined with fragility, is a profound teacher. It whispers to us of our own resilience, our capacity to navigate life's turbulent waters, while also reminding us of the preciousness of each moment, each connection, each breath. Just as the ocean patiently carves cliffs and nurtures new life, so too can we, with gentle persistence, shape our inner landscapes and foster growth. Let the image of the ocean's surface reflecting the moon and stars settle in your mind, a vast shimmering expanse, simultaneously reflecting the cosmos above and concealing unfathomable depths below. This duality is a beautiful metaphor for our own existence, outwardly engaged with the world, yet inwardly connected to something far grander, far more mysterious. As you drift, allow yourself to be that surface, calm and reflective, while knowing that beneath lies an entire universe of experience and peace. The concept of quote 16 is a poetic one, often explored in spiritual and philosophical contexts, suggesting that water retains an imprint of what it has encountered. While science may debate its literal truth, we can embrace it as a metaphor for our learning journey. The ocean, through our exploration, has imprinted itself upon us. Its ancient rhythms, its profound interconnectedness, its quiet power, these have left their mark, not on the water of our bodies, but on the waters of our consciousness. This imprint is a source of strength, a wellspring of calm, a gentle guide for navigating the currents of life. Now, we invite you to truly surrender to the ocean's embrace, not just conceptually, but physically. Feel the weight of your body settling, like sediment softly falling to the ocean floor. Each exhale is a tide receding, carrying away any lingering tension, any stray thought. Each inhale is a wave, fresh and revitalizing, filling you with the quiet energy of the deep. Let your muscles relax from the crown of your head, through your shoulders, down your arms and hands, into your torso, hips, legs, and feet. Imagine a soothing current flowing through you, loosening every knot, softening every edge. The ocean does not rush. It moves with an ancient, deliberate pace. Its processes unfold over eons, its changes measured in millennia. In this moment, we encourage you to adopt that same unhurried rhythm. There is nothing to achieve, nowhere to go, nothing to do but simply be. Be present with the quiet hum of your own existence, with the gentle ebb and flow of your breath, with the soft descent into peaceful slumber. Our journey through oceanography was not merely an academic pursuit. It was an invitation to reconnect with an essential part of ourselves, to remember our origins in the primeval soup, to understand our profound dependence on this blue heart of our planet. And in doing so, we have perhaps found a pathway to a deeper, more restorative form of rest. For when we are aligned with the natural world, when we appreciate its delicate grandeur, our own inner systems can find a similar harmony. As you prepare to cross the threshold into sleep, consider the ocean's ability to cleanse and renew. Each wave that breaks on the shore, each drop of rain that falls, is part of an endless cycle of purification. Allow this metaphorical cleansing to wash over you now. Let go of the day's worries, the mind's chatter, the demands of the waking world. Let them dissolve, like salt in the vast ocean, leaving behind only clarity and peace. The ocean, in its silent immensity, holds all stories, all memories, all futures. It is a vast library of time, a living archive of Earth's history. And as you sleep, you become part of this grand narrative, connected to the ancient rhythms, to the countless beings that have called these waters home, to the very pulse of the planet. Your dreams may carry you to phosphorescent depths, to sun-dappled reefs, or to quiet, rocky shores. Embrace whatever visions the ocean brings. They are gifts from the deep, whispers of wisdom meant just for you. We are not saying goodbye to the ocean, dear friend. We are simply acknowledging its enduring presence, both external and internal, the knowledge, the wonder, the calm we have cultivated together. These are now yours to carry, to draw upon whenever the need arises. They are a wellspring of peace, a reminder that even in the busiest moments, the vast tranquil ocean awaits within, ready to offer solace and perspective. So, let your awareness gently recede, like the tide pulling back from the shore, leaving behind smooth, undisturbed sands. Allow your thoughts to become like clouds drifting across a boundless ocean sky, slowly dissolving into the infinite expanse. Feel yourself sinking deeper, ever deeper, into the soft embrace of your bed, into the profound stillness that mirrors the deepest parts of the ocean. We have explored the surface, the depths, the life, the challenges, and the profound metaphorical significance of our ocean. Now, let the ocean explore you in the gentle, restorative currents of sleep. May your rest be deep, tranquil, and filled with the quiet wonder of the blue planet, and may you awaken, whenever that may be, feeling refreshed, renewed, and ever more connected to the magnificent life-giving ocean that flows through us all. Good night, fellow traveller. May the ocean's peace be with you, now and always, drifting, drifting, deeper, deeper, into the quiet, boundless ocean of sleep. And so, we arrive at the threshold, fellow travellers, where the vast, waking ocean of our shared reality meets the boundless, dreaming ocean within. You are drifting now, suspended between the conscious and the profound unconscious, a liminal space where the mind begins its nightly voyage. The currents of thought, once strong and purposeful, now soften, becoming gentle eddies, swirling patterns of light and shadow on the surface of your inner sea. Feel the subtle shift, the loosening of your grip on the day's concerns. Like a ship releasing its anchor in a quiet harbour, your awareness begins to float free. We have journeyed through the tangible wonders of the ocean, its immense scale, its dynamic movements, its hidden topography, and its astonishing life. We have contemplated the challenges it faces and our sacred duty of stewardship. We have recognized its pervasive influence on our very being, on our breath, our bodies, our cultures, and our peace. Now, we invite you to carry these reflections, these images, these sensations into the deep restorative waters of your own sleep. Imagine, if you will, that your mind itself is an ocean, a vast unexplored territory, just like the blue expanse we have been exploring. On its surface, the conscious thoughts ripple and gleam, reflecting the light of the day, the immediate concerns, the tasks at hand. But beneath this surface lies an immense silent realm, your subconscious, a place of unfathomable depths, where memories reside like ancient shipwrecks, where insights emerge like bioluminescent creatures from the dark, and where the currents of emotion flow with a power often unseen. As you prepare to sink deeper into this inner ocean, allow the lessons of the outer ocean to guide you. Remember the thermohaline circulation, the global conveyor belt that moves water from pole to pole, from surface to abyss, driven by differences in temperature and salinity. In your dreams, a similar circulation occurs. Your mind processes the day's experiences, sorting, integrating, and renewing. Thoughts and feelings, like water masses, descend into the depths, are transformed, and eventually resurface, often as fresh perspectives, creative solutions, or simply a profound sense of peace. Perhaps you will encounter the creatures of your inner ocean, not the plankton or the nekton we discussed, but the vibrant, often symbolic forms of your dreams. They are manifestations of your hopes, your fears, your deepest desires swimming freely in the fluid landscape of your mind. Do not fear them, just as we learn not to fear the unknown creatures of the deep. Observe them with the same sense of wonder and curiosity that guided our exploration of the ocean's biodiversity. Each one carries a message, a whisper from the depths of your own wisdom. Think of the abyssal plains we traversed, those vast, flat, and remarkably still expanses at the ocean's bottom. In the deepest phases of sleep, your mind can reach a similar state of profound stillness, a place where the chatter of the surface world fades, where the pressures of daily life are suspended and where a deep foundational calm can be found. It is in this stillness that true restoration begins, a recalibration of your entire being, much like the slow, steady geological processes that shape the ocean floor over millennia. And the hydrothermal vents, those oases of life thriving in perpetual darkness, drawing energy not from the sun but from the Earth's inner heat. In your dreams too there are sources of hidden energy, unexpected wellsprings of creativity and renewal that erupt from the core of your being. These are the moments of insight, the sudden flashes of understanding, the feeling of being re-energized even after the most challenging days. Your subconscious mind, like those vents, is a powerful engine of transformation, constantly working even as you rest to sustain and nourish your inner ecosystem. We spoke of the ocean's ancient wisdom, its memory stretching back to the dawn of Earth's formation, holding the very blueprint of life. As you drift deeper into sleep, you tap into an equally ancient wisdom within yourself. The collective unconscious, as some might call it, or simply the inherited knowledge embedded in your very cells, resonating with the rhythms of the planet. Your body, mostly water, remembers the tides, remembers the primordial soup from which all life emerged. In sleep, you are not just an individual resting. You are a part of this grand, continuous story, a drop rejoining the infinite ocean. Let the rhythmic ebb and flow of your breath become the gentle lapping of waves on a distant shore. Each inhale, a fresh current of life entering your being. Each exhale, a soft release, carrying away any remaining tension, any lingering worries. Feel your body becoming lighter, more buoyant, cradled by an unseen force, much like a tiny boat on a calm sea, effortlessly rising and falling with the gentle swell. There is no need to grasp, no need to hold on. Simply allow yourself to be carried. The ocean does not rush. It moves with an ancient, unhurried grace, and so too should your mind in these precious moments of surrender. Let the soft whispers of the deep ocean lull you further, the hushed sounds of water against rock, the distant calls of unseen creatures, the profound silence of the abyssal plains. These become the symphony of your peaceful descent. We have learned that the ocean is a place of paradoxes, immensely powerful yet profoundly fragile, ancient beyond measure yet constantly renewing itself, teeming with life yet holding vast empty spaces. Your inner ocean, your subconscious, shares these paradoxes. It holds immense strength and resilience, yet requires careful tending. It carries the echoes of your past, yet is constantly shaping your future. It can be tempestuous, yet also profoundly calm. Tonight, we invite you to rest in its calm, to trust its wisdom, to allow its vastness to dissolve the boundaries of your waking self, expanding your sense of possibility and peace. The ocean does not judge, it simply is. And in this state of deep relaxation, you too can simply be, without expectation, without obligation, without the need to strive or achieve, just being in the gentle embrace of the oceanic dream. Remember the profound interconnectedness we explored, how the ocean shapes our weather, how its currents distribute heat, how its tiny plankton generate the air we breathe. Even in sleep, this connection persists. The water within you resonates with the water outside you, linking you to every river, every cloud, every drop of rain, and every vast ocean on earth. You are never truly separate. You are always a part of the greater whole. As you drift deeper now, let the imagery of the deep sea envelop you. The soft, velvety darkness, not frightening, but comforting. The gentle pressure, not oppressive, but reassuring. A soft embrace from the earth itself. Imagine yourself sinking slowly, effortlessly, past the twilight zone, past the midnight zone, into the tidal depths of profound stillness. Here, there is no light, no sound, save for the gentle hum of pure existence. This is the deepest rest, the most profound rejuvenation. We leave you now in this sacred space, cradled by the wisdom of the ocean, both external and internal. May your dreams be as vast and as full of wonder as the ocean itself. May they bring you insights as clear as the purest deep-sea water, and peace as boundless as the horizon. When you awaken, you will carry a renewed sense of connection, a subtle echo of the ocean's ancient strength and serene tranquility. The lessons learned, the wonders explored, will have settled into the deeper layers of your being, ready to inform your conscious thoughts, to inspire your actions, and to remind you of the profound beauty and interconnectedness of all life. Rest now, fellow traveller. Surrender to the deep. The ocean awaits you in your dreams, and will greet you with its quiet strength when you return. Sleep well. We have journeyed far, haven't we, fellow travellers? From the cosmic dust that cradled our nascent waters, to the vibrant, teeming ecosystems that pulse with life, and even through the shadows of the challenges that now face this magnificent realm. We have seen the ocean in its raw power, its delicate balance, and its profound vulnerability, and perhaps, after contemplating such immense beauty and such pressing concerns, a quiet weariness might settle upon us, a sense of the vastness of it all. But now, as the gentle currents of our exploration begin to slow, we invite you to drift with us into a different kind of understanding, one that moves beyond the scientific and into the deeply personal. For the ocean, in its endless expanse and ancient wisdom, is not merely an external force, a subject of study, or a resource to be managed. It is, in a profound and often overlooked way, a source of peace, a mirror for our inner worlds, and a silent, steadfast companion on the journey of existence. Close your eyes for a moment, if it feels right, and simply feel. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your own breath, a rhythm not unlike the ocean's tides. Allow the echoes of all we have learned to settle within you, not as facts to be memorized, but as sensations, as a deepening awareness. We have understood the ocean with our minds. Now let us feel it with our hearts and recognize its indelible imprint upon our very souls. Consider the ocean as a profound source of peace. When we stand at its edge, gazing out at the horizon where sky meets water, something within us expands. The ceaseless motion of the waves, an eternal lullaby, has a way of quieting the clamour of the world, and indeed the clamour within us. The vastness itself is a comfort, putting our own concerns into a grander perspective. It reminds us of the endless cycles of nature, of the ebb and flow of all things, and in that recognition we find a tranquil acceptance. The ocean does not rush, does not fret, it simply is. And in its being, it invites us to simply be, to release the grip of urgency and surrender to a deeper, more ancient rhythm. This ancient wisdom of the ocean is not spoken in words, but whispered in the whisper of the tide, etched into the contours of the deep, and carried in the very memory of water. It is the wisdom of resilience, having weathered millennia of geological shifts, climatic changes, and the ceaseless dance of life and death. It teaches us about adaptation, about the profound interconnectedness of all living things, where the smallest plankton supports the largest whale. It reminds us that even in the deepest darkness, life finds a way to thrive, often in forms more wondrous than we could ever imagine. This wisdom, if we are open to it, can seep into our own understanding, guiding us towards greater patience, deeper interconnectedness, and an unwavering hope in the face of change. And perhaps most intimately, the ocean acts as a mirror for our inner worlds. Have you ever noticed how your own emotional landscape can sometimes resemble the sea? There are days when our minds are as calm and clear as a tropical lagoon, reflecting the sky with serene precision. Other times our thoughts might churn like a stormy sea, waves of emotion crashing against the shores of our consciousness, stirred by unseen winds. There are depths within us too, quiet and mysterious, holding forgotten memories and unspoken dreams, much like the abyssal plains where light never reaches, yet life persists. This mirroring is not merely poetic, it is a profound invitation to introspection. When we observe the ocean, we can learn to observe ourselves with similar patience and curiosity. We can acknowledge the storms without being overwhelmed by them, knowing that beneath the surface a deeper calm often prevails. We can respect the profound depths of our own being, understanding that not everything needs to be illuminated by the harsh light of constant scrutiny. The ocean teaches us that our inner landscape too is vast, dynamic, and capable of holding immense beauty and profound mystery. Now, let us consider the pervasive influence of the ocean on our daily lives, an influence so fundamental that it often goes unnoticed, like the air we breathe. Which, incidentally, brings us to our first point, the very air we breathe. We have spoken of the microscopic phytoplankton, these tiny photosynthetic wonders of the surface waters. It is these humble organisms, thriving in the sunlit zones of the ocean, that produce over half of all the oxygen on Earth. Think of that for a moment. With every breath you take, at least 1 in every 2 molecules of oxygen has been exhaled by a microscopic plant in the ocean. The ocean doesn't just hold life, it gives us life, continuously replenishing the very atmosphere that sustains us. It is the silent, tireless lung of our planet, working ceaselessly to provide the fundamental element of our existence. Then there is the water cycle, that grand, unending dance of transformation. The ocean is the beating heart of this cycle, holding the vast majority of Earth's water. The sun warms its surface, lifting vapor into the sky, forming clouds that travel across continents, eventually returning as rain or snow. This is the water that fills our rivers, replenishes our lakes, nourishes our crops, and flows from our taps. Every drop of fresh water on land has at some point been part of the vast ocean. Our lives are inextricably linked to this cycle. From the morning coffee we brew to the rain that waters our gardens, to the very water that makes up the majority of our own bodies. We are, quite literally, walking, breathing vessels of the ocean's generous circulation. And speaking of our bodies, There are physiological echoes of the ocean within us that are truly remarkable. The salinity of our blood, for instance, is uncannily similar to that of ancient seawater. Our earliest ancestors emerged from the primeval oceans, and though countless generations separate us, the memory of that origin persists in our very cells. Our tears, our sweat, the amniotic fluid that cradles new life, all bear the chemical signature of the sea. We carry the ocean within us, a living testament to our shared evolutionary heritage. It is not just a metaphor, it is a biological truth, a constant reminder of our deep ancestral connection to the blue planet. Beyond the physical, the ocean has profoundly shaped our cultures, inspired our arts, and permeated our collective consciousness. From the earliest myths of sea gods and goddesses to epic tales of perilous voyages and encounters with mythical beasts, the ocean has fueled the human imagination for millennia. It is the backdrop for countless stories of courage, loss, and discovery. Poets have found solace and inspiration in its boundless expanse. Artists have captured its ever-changing moods on canvas, and musicians have echoed its rhythms in their compositions. Our language itself is rich with oceanic metaphors. We speak of tides of emotion, navigating challenges, being adrift, or finding our bearings. The ocean is woven into the very fabric of human expression, a wellspring of creativity and a symbol of both the terrifying unknown and the comforting familiar. And finally, consider the therapeutic power of the ocean, a phenomenon increasingly recognized by science and intuitively understood by generations. The mere sight of the ocean, the sound of its waves, the scent of its salty air, these stimuli have a profound calming effect on our nervous systems. This is what many call the blue mind effect, the meditative, relaxed state we enter when near, in, or underwater. It reduces stress, lowers heart rates, and promotes feelings of well-being. Whether it's the rhythmic crashing of surf, the gentle lapping of waves against the shore, or the vast, uninterrupted horizon, the ocean offers a unique balm for the modern soul. It invites us to slow down, to breathe deeply, and to reconnect with a sense of wonder that often gets lost in the rush of daily life. For many, it is a place of healing, of reflection, and of profound renewal. So as we bring these thoughts together, we begin to understand that the ocean is not merely a distant entity, separate from our lives. It is an intrinsic, vital part of who we are. It is the oxygen in our lungs, the water in our veins, the inspiration in our art, and the peace in our hearts. Its story is our story, its health is our health, and its mysteries echo the mysteries within ourselves. We have journeyed through the external ocean, exploring its vastness and its intricate workings. Now we stand at the threshold of an even deeper voyage, one that invites us to turn inward, to explore the ocean that resides within each of us. For as we prepare to surrender to the restorative embrace of sleep, we will discover that our minds too are vast and deep, with conscious surfaces and subconscious currents, much like the ocean itself. And in those depths, a different kind of wisdom, a different kind of peace awaits. Let us carry this integrated understanding with us, this profound connection to the ocean in all its forms. Let it be a soothing presence, a gentle reminder that we are part of something immense and beautiful, something ancient and deeply interconnected. Allow this awareness to settle, to soften the edges of your day, and to prepare you for the peaceful descent into the dreaming ocean within.